Good morning, friends. A new day with certain new things. A poetic statement. Soul exchanges here. Excuse me. And looks like the list is the same. And that one change that Zakuha on the forum said is Grace brought in place of Albi in the latest update that we had, I think, yesterday, is also true. So let's quickly go through the heroes. In tier 10, it's Arfanias, Dark Hero, one of the heroes of the month, so he's part of this particular family, which gives this bonus. Can't steal his health. He has the passive of getting plus 30 attack for 3 turns when their mana, subject to the mana reduction. So it's all technical. He's been around, so everybody knows. Good hero, nice sniper, and his dodge works quite well, I would say. So that's that. Currently in beta, we have got her costume. The details of the costume can be seen on the forum. She is an old Avalon hero. She used to be absolutely kick-ass at one particular time, was nerfed, I heard, twice. And her impact, the mana reduction is for all enemies, but otherwise heal over time and defense up against dark is self and nearby. So she's not used much, but the costume is brilliant. So that impacts all, heals all, so that comes into effect again. But she's a good hero to have. Grace, another hero of the month. Her unique thing is she stops taunt. She is again a hit 3, and there is a defense down that she gives. I'm not going too much into stats because I think at this level, whoever is participating is going to see this, knows most of the things. So it'll just become a repetition. She can be taken against a lot of heroes that give burn because she has an innate resistance. So I'm just highlighting the cool parts. And she is a damn good hero, to have. Yes, top roster people have most of these heroes. So for them, this not, but for a lot of people who have got 10 heroes to trade, Grace would be a good catch. I haven't said as my opening statement that of all this, I don't have Queen of Hearts, I don't have Quartz, and I don't have Luana. I have all other heroes in the roster, whether leveled or not. Excuse me. She's sitting at 370 for an opportunity to really would like to level her because her special is fantastic. I'll come to that. I have started leveling Tahir, need some space to be able to complete him. He's another hero of the month, 2022 family. Very good sniper. Wax 350. If the target has status ailments or negative stacks, that goes to 525, and then there is a bleed. The nearby fellows, if the target is still alive. So he's a good hero of the month. And obviously now that 2 of 2022 can be paired, he gives immunity to new finds for 4 turns to all allies. So that's useful. She is brilliant, 21 hero of the month. Apart from recovering health, she just makes those tiles. Tile-based recovery of health up to 42, but she turns those tiles into 54 critical, and that comes in really handy, especially if you're doing your mono blues or against the titans. So instead of me using, because I always take a healer when I'm attacking titans because I don't use too many mats and I like to have a decent hit score. So I would like to replace Ariel with Alexandrine. So I would like to level her up for the Titan. Let's see. But of this particular row, this is my top pick. Impact 3. Otherwise, depending on your roster requirement, please go ahead and pick this, this, this. They're all handy. We'll move into the next one. I'm still waking up, so I'm having my coffee, so bear with me. Tier 15. Dark Lord. Very hard sniper. I think this spot for a good dark hero is always reserved. So I remember, I think Ludwig was there last time over there. So Dark Lord is a very hard sniper. Apart from sniping, he impacts the target and nearby by reducing duration of the buff. But that corrosive poison also starts killing the nearby, and that mana generation by minus 13% each turn, which means practically the people, I mean, unless there is a cascade, I mean, they don't charge. So, or multiple matches right there and then. So it's difficult, which means his whack ensures that it's a kill. And many times it becomes a kill for the target and nearby enemies because of this damage over time and reduction of mana speed. Him being wizard actually adds on to that damage that he piles on if the talent activates. So, brilliant hero. Acheron. So he is, excuse me, season 4 character, and he's, I think, one of the early ones that I had got, and he hits really hard. Very simple special, rearranges the enemy positions and gives the whack of 280 to target a nearby. This adds to that first whack. So straightforward. Hit 3. That's the Hatter. And my tone just changed. And since my camera is not on, my smile is so big. Wow. I just love the Hatter. He is, I'm not going to wait till the end. I'm going to say it right now. He is the top hero for me in this Soul Exchange. I remember saying with so much emotions when I had seen Lord Loki, and there are a few fellows who regret not picking him up. I would say the Hatter is a top hero. I limit broke him, full emblems. I use him every day for the last 30 months. I just recently completed 37th and going to be in, I think, a couple of weeks time completing 38 months in the game. He has been active on my raid attack team, and of course he plays every war, and he is useful against every damn hero and scenario out there. Don't go by the stats. We have enough resources available to increase and improve these stats. Of course, I can whack this, so this is always there to give you an idea. To see his stats with full emblems and limit break. And yeah, the attack and the defense stats is almost starting stats of these days, heroes of these days, but they don't carry his special, which is deals the whack. So it's 400 damage. In his time when he was introduced, that used to be a snipe number. So he hits 3, but the second portion of the special is where it's magical. He steals all dispellable buffs from all enemies and randomly distributes them on allies. I recently posted a video on my channel of the Hatter stealing Hippo's special, and since Ferdinand's special was also active, he stole that also and just wiped out. The special was given to Lolo, and whack, the whole team was almost gone, except one, I think. So that video is there if you want to see what the Harrow does. He's been there on a lot of my raid videos. I do some fun videos or some hero test videos. You'll find the Harrow to be there, absolutely. So I am able to deal with just anybody. I combine the Harrow, Alnadaha, and Arco with together, and I deal with practically any team out there. So he's my top pick. I would, if anybody's sitting on the fence and looking at a unique hero, the Harrow is the one to go for. That's it. I don't need to sell him. I mean, this card will itself convince people. So, wow. This chick is the one that I didn't have, and originally I was planning to pick, but she got rebalanced. I wanted her for the Equalizer War because her taunt was connected to the card that the playing card minion that she gives when she fires, she gets. And since that card would be on, the taunt would stay and not get cleared in the Equalizer. And I don't have her, of course. So I said, okay, that would be fun. But that effect is gone. So I'm not. So anybody's looking for a taunt hero, there she is. Queen of Hearts. And of course, this bonus helps because if two of them are paired, then there is a mana speed up, a small percentage, and the critical also. So that helps. Otherwise, her stats show that she's basically a tanky hero, and from her era, these stats were very hardcore tanky. 1545 is a good health even for today. And yeah. So she impacts 3, summons a minion, and gets this defense up. So simple. Queen of Hearts, really liked by quite a few, but now with today so many heroes out there, the definition of this card needs to be more simplified, and I think that's what SG did. So yeah, I was going to get her. I don't plan to get her now. Alice, dodger, sniper, attack down, and resets the duration of the effect, that attack down effect, if the target is healed. And that effect cannot be cleansed. So useful against the Titans because then their attack is almost reduced by half, that minus 44. But the era of single hit, hit one heroes is really off unless the hero is doing some real crazy stuff. So that's where she is more of a meh, not, we'll have to see what her costume comes out with, because I clear that the costume is on the way unless it's already there and I have not noticed. So that's that. So that's Alice. I have her. I have never leveled her beyond the 370. So left her at that because there are other blue options. So in this tier and also this portal, Hatter is my top recommendation. Can be used all the time, every time. With my fairly decent roster, I use Hatter all the time. I'll show you. So this is my defense, find an opponent, and that's my team. That's the team, straight. He's at 19 emblems. I'm not given because I don't need to waste either the golden or 250 emblems for this. That's just an extra heal. If it was defense or health, I would have tapped it. So I use my resources a little more carefully, but there you have it. He's on my main attack team, and this team wipes out any freaking team out there. There is also going to be a talk when I arrive in the last tier about this guy. I haven't given limit break to this fellow, and he's at 14 emblems only so far. I will, as I get the emblems, which I seem to be collecting now, will give him and strengthen him more, but we'll come to that. Let's go back. So in tier of 15 heroes, Hatter is my top pick. And I showed you from my reality and my experience of play, and I play a lot. 37 months, 24,845 raids. Raid wins, rather. Raids would have been higher than that. So it's not that there is a lack of playing. Stats, since some people believe in stats. The second best in this tier I would recommend is this fellow. So obviously you need to look at your maths situation. You need to look at your roster, but Hatter still fits in an overcrowded roster. Worth having, because those buffs are not dispelled but brought home to be used against them. I mean, facing Ludwig has never been an issue since day one. Facing any taunt has never been an issue since day one. So that's that. So he's my second. And I think between these two, you should take a decision. Unless you already have these two, then, see what makes sense from whatever I have spoken. I'll move to the tier of 20 heroes. Quartz. So he's a ninja. I don't have him. And I have enough healers. So of all types. So really not looking at heal over time kind of another fellow. Even though he at very fast speed, and there is some talk about 5 tiles or 6 tile healing. Well, this 164 HP over 2 turns is basically not even a heal. It's 82 per turn. Slash attacks are higher than that. We have slash attacks which are like 300 and 400 HP, which means this heal is 0. Yes, attack up for the team and cleanses status ailments. So this whole fascination of cleansing status ailments very fast, I want to break that particular myth, because we all play this game. So let's talk practical stuff. Status ailments don't happen so fast most of the times. Few times, yes, there could be a bleed, or there could be a mana reduction, or some kind of a thing that happens, but not at this very fast speed. So this will not be used so much, and this is where it comes into effect, where the heal over time increases, the attack up for all allies increases, and cleanse. Even though I believe that the tower heroes get used most of the times at the first and the second mana charge, and very rarely, especially this kind of a hero that gives heal over time, I don't think so there is any chance of his third mana charge coming into play, because I use tower heroes and I end up doing the first and the second. I'm talking about ninjas that have 3 charges. Magic heroes have only 2 charges. So that's a different discussion. So for me, he's a glorified costume regard. I would rather fully emblem and limit break costume regard, which is a much cheaper option, and rather get this fellow and give those tabards to him. So Quartz is not even being looked at by me. I will not say anything further. Going into Kara, taunt, brilliant hero, absolutely brilliant. She's a hero of the month, and one of the rare times when I have called her a she without thinking he in my head, and then converting into a she and saying this flowed naturally. So she has this benefit of 22 family bonus. This is brilliant. Resisting ailments of defense down, both regular defense down and elemental, and she gets mana each time a buff is dispelled. So that, though both the passives are fantastic and really comes in handy. She has an extra turn of taunt also, instead of compared to 3 of The other taunters that exist, I mean, I remember the main guy, Black Knight. I think the costume has four, I don't remember. But Kara has four turns, which is fantastic. And then there is a mini attack up that you get. And I would say she is excellent. If you don't have taunt, get Kara. But you saw my attack team. You saw Arco at 14 emblems. I've been using Arco. Arco unseated Heimdall, who I used for 24 plus months. I got Heimdall on first day of the portal, of the season 3 portal, if I remember. And I was absolutely thrilled to get a reviver. And I leveled him up and have used him a lot with my Gazelle team. So Heimdall, Gazelle, this one, what you call him, Hatter, Lord Loki came a little later, but once he joined that team, and then Frigg used to be there. Frigg also came along, and that's how the team got built up. And I used it for a long, long time. Recently, Arco unseated Heimdall because he's average, and there are tons of finds out there, and I like to whack the finds. So using the opposite person's hit to my advantage is something that Hatter has taught me, Lolo has taught me, and now I have Arco. I carry 3 heroes that basically use the opposition's whatever disadvantage it's trying to create an advantage for their own allies and team. So Arco joins there. He is the pick of this portal. I know I spoke about Hatter. You will have to coin toss between the two of them, but I can tell you this, if I don't have Arco and if I did not have Hatter, I would have picked up Hatter anytime because I have other ways of dealing with finds, but I don't have the Hatter advantage of dealing with opposition buffs and various scenarios. So Hatter would be still my first choice, but in this tier, Arco is absolutely the top choice. Why? Well, he can't be poisoned because this bonus is available for 1. This is insane. Insane. Okay, I have Gazelle that cancels this off, but there are many times when Gazelle has not charged and not fired because I use Gazelle a lot. But most players out there don't use Gazelle, which means on your regular team, this is insane. He can just keep rolling, healing himself and this, and then you can use the tiles to whack and win. So this stone skin is just amazing. I think I have a video how he won that particular raid alone using the stone skin. Then comes this. Replaces all finds on all allies with gargoyle minions. These minions are freaking heavy, beefy. So they are 30% HP, which means you put 3 minions, you basically have double. You've got a whole hero sitting over there. And plus there is boosted health, which means you technically are 3 times the health. Why does he become extremely valuable today? The kind of damage and the type of heroes that we are testing in beta that are coming, where if you whack the hero, the dying hero is going to give you a 500 HP or whatever whack. A reviving hero comes and gives a whack. So what I'm realizing that you have to be constantly at double the HP at least to be able to engage and play the game, whether you're doing a raid, whether you're playing the tournament, or whether you're playing wars. Obviously, many of these heroes are work in progress and being slowly introduced, so it will take the next 3 to 6 months for a wider availability. Depending on where you are in the game, the top fellows already have Arco. I have Arco. And I'm not claiming that I'm top, but I'm saying I have Arco. Top fellows pull a lot, so they automatically have Arco, and quite a few other people have. But there are many players who don't have Arco, and he not just don't fall for this boosted health, but these minions, conversion of finds, which means you're not going to think even blink dealing with find heroes. You will just go and whack them. And converting those finds also into minions comes in. Arco being paired with fellow minion heroes speeds up the HP load up and the minion load up on all. So there you have it. He's the top most hero in this 20 tier tank. Sorry, 20 tier tank or 20 tier lineup. So yeah, go for him. I'll come to her first. Milena, I'm sorry, sweetie. I have you, and I started with it. You pick Arco or Milena, but now it's absolutely clear that you're not the priority. Unless somebody already has Arco and doesn't want to pick up a second Arco to build a second team, which I am doing. I have a second Arco also, and I'm going to build a second team. The only one missing is Al Nadaha. Otherwise, I'll have the same photocopy team, carbon copy team of the one that I showed you, my attack team. I would love to have the same team replicated, but I will still have that team with Frigg or maybe with Quinel, and it'll still work because I got a second Hatter, which I have brought to 370. So otherwise, Milena, I was thinking, but let's talk about Milena. I got lost in Arco and my Hatter combo. So, brilliant hero. You have this stack possibility, this possibility, 10% mana, that a 50% chance when she fires the first health, and it's really valuable. 10% mana helps. It used to be higher, but they have toned it down, so whatever. So everybody is basically fan of her first charge, which is 25% health for all allies. And cleansing. I will again say the 5 tile, 6 tile. There is not an ailment most of the times to cleanse, and there is no need for a health also to be healed. So this usually the first fire is just going to be there. But okay, it's nice to have because I use Milena in my blue team with Pengi as a second healer, main healer being Director Zuri. And many of you would see that I use her in the war. The last war, that team wasn't successful, but it has a very high success percentage. And this comes in handy in play. But I don't use Milena all the time. I use her only in the war because Arco is more valuable and versatile for me for use. The second myth I want to break is the second charge 420 damage to all enemies is amazing. Believe me, it's amazing. And with that Gazelle buff or with any buff, it wipes out the whole team. But the second charge is slow speed, which means with these tower heroes, many times we are stuck seeing scenarios keep using the first charge, which means we need to still make 12 matches to reach this charge to be able to cause this damage. And there are much faster damage heroes. So I would rather take an Arco and take 2 heavy damagers, which is what I have in the form of Hatter and Alnadaha, who are doing much more stuff apart from plain straightforward damage and stealing buffs. They're causing a prevention. They're preventing buffs from getting created and too many things. So that makes better sense than to be sold out and become a fan of these 2 specials, which are really great to have. So if you already have an Arco, please get the Hatter. But if you have Arco and the Hatter, then she comes in. So she's the third ranker I'm putting in this. If you don't have taunt, then obviously there is a specialist requirements to go for Kara. So that's Milena. Sorry, sweetie. Had to lay out the fact rather than theory because, this is a sure shot pickup of the hero that is going to impact the roster. And impact the roster in overall play and not some specific play. And no romance. There's a combination of logic and intelligence is what I would like to request. Emotions, you'll feel disappointed the moment you have picked her up and don't use her after sometimes and will also be upset of giving the mats. So that's that. Even though she will be useful and deserving of all the mats and everything else. I have her limit broken at 10 emblems, by the way. Now I come down to Luana. So, part of the Knights family. Straight forward stuff. Blocks talent skill. Activation for all enemies for 6 turns. And whacks 260 damage to all enemies. I like the stats that I see. And I don't have her. And in this whole portal, I already have multiple Arcos and Hatter. Hatter I got recently, so otherwise I would have picked up the Hatter from amongst all this, since I already had a second Arco, because I was searching for a second Hatter to be able to complete the team along with my costume Gazelle, and it's happening slowly. So I would have picked him up if I hadn't got the second one. If I didn't have the second one, I would have picked him. I don't want the second one, her, because I don't use the first one so much. So these guiding factors are very personal. I have him sitting at 370 for a while. And hence, there are very few heroes. I was going to give this a miss, but I also need to clear up some roster space. And I have the mats, and she is brilliant. And a specialist, hit all hero. So that's my choice in this Soul Exchange portal. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set it up, come and pick her up. Okay, so I have selected my 20 fellows. And I have selected Luana for the exchange. These are the 20 fellows that are going. I have an Alice, a Cara, and a Grace in it. Yeah. Time to clear the roster. Excellent design. So yeah, welcome to the roster, sweetie. There you go. Sold out. Done. Wish you well to make the correct decision that works for you. Please look at your mats, your roster, and the hero that will impact the overall play. I would like to share that I don't like playing with minions. I still have not opened up so much, but the compulsion is, the meta is such. It's loaded with fines. Minions come and give a very unique advantage. And yes, there are many minion killer heroes also that really hurt bad. So it's a very thinking meta that is being developed for some time now. I think the effort for the last year, at least, very actively with a huge number of hero introductions, new hero introductions, has been to highly commercialize and make as much money, because I feel the game might end in a year or maybe 2 years' time, because there's nothing new to do unless something really creative comes out, which might be in works. So I don't want to sound off the doomsday thing, but it's being turned into a very thinking, not a slam bang, damn and done kind of a meta where force is more important. It's a thinking thing that is coming out. And that's where some of the heroes that I have spoken about, they basically require that kind of an approach. So that's that. Good luck and thanks for watching. And yeah, see you in the next video. Cheers.